Okay, have a good
All right.
session.
Thanks, John. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jill Pippin. I'm Dean for Extended Learning here at SUNY Oswego. And I'm really pleased to be here today to talk to you a little bit about some of the plans for online learning that SUNY Oswego had outlined in the online strategic plan, as well as a number of other components. So I think there will be plenty of time for questions toward the end. As I timed myself in a rehearsal here, it looks as though my presentation is not going to be even close to 50 minutes. So I do believe we're going to have plenty of time if you have questions. But I am going to be reading a little bit while I go through the slides. So if you have questions in the chat, I will probably not see them as I read. Feel free to jump in and interrupt me, or I'll get to them at the end when I'm finished with the presentation. So with that said, I am going to share my screen and present. So can I get a thumbs up from someone if you can see my screen here? All right, thank you very much. All right. So even before the pandemic, SUNY Oswego had charted a course and was innovating online learning. So this session is going to review the college's online learning strategic plan, SUNY Online involvement, new and proposed online programs, and progress on other strategic initiatives that are continuing during our immediate shift toward remote teaching. So before I continue, it's essential to acknowledge that online learning is a campus-wide endeavor, driven and requiring significant investment by academic departments and their faculty who see the value of providing higher education opportunities to students online. The information in this presentation reflects a comprehensive overview of actions taken and plans to further enhance online learning at SUNY Oswego that engage practically every academic, student service, and administrative department on campus. The SUNY Oswego Online Learning Strategic Plan was created by a 23-member steering committee, which developed a plan that clearly outlined the college's intention for online learning, enabling an integrated college-wide approach, fueled by continuous innovation and strategic excellence. Guided by the Tomorrow Plan and supported by our CTS's digital campus plan, the committee gathered and analyzed the institution's program opportunities, challenges, and resource needs, and prepared a plan that recommended strategic priorities and an approach to online offering and services. Over the course of that effort, 37 constituency groups of students, academic departments, service offices, and support units were consulted, and over 400 people provided input. They identified areas of strength, needs for improvement, and projections for the future of online learning. And the plan culminated in 5 clear goals made up of 17 objectives requiring 71 cross-campus initiatives. And due to the swiftly changing educational and technical landscape, it was developed for a short 3-year span. That's a lot of initiatives for campus, with a very clear and continued emphasis on traditional campus-based students. But a good strategic plan is not the easy path. It is part aspirational and audacious. And SUNY Oswego's excellent track record of online learning positioned us well to thrive and continue our leadership in this arena. So we'll review the 5 goals in the online learning strategic plan fairly quickly. The first goal describes the intent to not only maintain but grow new online programs that serve adult and non-traditional students who need degrees that connect to the workplace. And this is where the SUNY Online initiative is first mentioned. But also it refers to refining the hybrid programs available at the Syracuse campus, establishing an interdisciplinary studies completion degree, investigating additional prior learning assessments, refining course scheduling to include year-round programming, and also investing in faculty and staff resources needed to enact and sustain this growth. This requires continual research into emerging workplace needs, innovative best practices in online learning, and close financial stewardship in order to ensure the ability to reinvest in and sustain efforts to refine the online portfolio. The second goal focuses on the academic quality of our programs and courses. It speaks to internal process documentation and refinement, the imperative to continue looking at new methods and modalities of instruction like microcredentials or accelerated formats, new tools, and pedagogical approaches using active learning strategies and data-informed refinements for student success, which include learning outcomes, engagement, and retention. Quality, interaction, and achievement are the focus here. And with invested full-time faculty, high-quality curriculum, and engagement in the SUNY Oswego experience, programs are offered to students at all stages of their educational journey, appropriate to their needs, and consistently Oswego. Main point there. The third goal focuses on student success and engagement. Success is measured individually by each learner according to their own goals. Students learning online should have clear expectations about their online experience. They should have customized services and messaging that reflects their online status, and academic and student support services that are readily accessible to them. Intentional design of programs and services for the adult or non-traditional student are key, including a new integrated professional studies degree in Microcredentials, as is collaboration with offices like career services and alumni, which link the college to the workplace for the student. Goal 3 states that SUNY Oswego designs programs that integrate services and opportunities for each student to engage in an inclusive and productive learning experience. This goal also integrates online students into the landscape of SUNY Oswego's enrichment activities and promotional materials so they can be seen as being part of and enjoy themselves the SUNY Oswego experience. The fourth goal focuses on faculty and staff success. It identifies a need for widely available faculty professional development, a community of practice, clear documentation of processes, and recognition of excellence, and the campus-wide expectation that faculty are able to teach online and that administrative offices and student service functions by staff are accessible to online students. It also proposes the implementation of a frictionless recruitment and admissions process with clear and consistent representation of online programs in college media. In these ways, the value of serving online students and developing and teaching online courses is fully recognized and integrated into the fabric of SUNY Oswego, and support is readily available to those engaged in such activity. The last goal is all about technology and providing students, faculty, and staff what they need to be successful. Aligning with the IT strategic plan, it reflects the intent to provide all with robust, intuitive tools and to continually provide access to new technologies that enrich the teaching and learning experience. It encourages the use of open educational resources, mobile learning opportunities, and online test proctoring, as well as technological supports for readily available administrative tasks and services. It pledges to maintain an inclusive environment, integrating accessibility-first design, affordable access to technology, 24/7 help desk support, and digital library resources. Goal 5 states the campus technology team that supports the technical infrastructure evaluates, implements, and supports the most appropriate tools for teaching and serving online students to ensure the learning experience is transparently enhanced by technology. So during the online learning strategic plan process, the committee reviewed information about the current online student base, including persistence, retention, and success data, and best practices from national organizations about serving online students. We also reviewed the profile of existing online students at Oswego, which informed the strategic plan and actions taken thereafter. What we found was that online learning options were primarily being sought after by the post-traditional adult student already at our campus, 24 years of age or more. They usually came to us with some college credit, working at least part-time, if not full-time, having life commitments, which require scheduling flexibility and convenience, and who are seeking primarily a part-time path to a degree. The students were secondarily SUNY Oswego traditional residential students enrolled in high-demand programs which offered online sections, those who are managing scheduling and college transition challenges, and those seeking accelerated time to degree, who often were taking summer and winter courses online. Followed by our third market was our non-matric visiting students from other colleges fulfilling degree needs of their own, typically in the summer and winter terms. Research for the strategic plan showed very interesting trends, as you'll see listed here, which show both significant offerings and demand. You can see this is old data as well. And of course, this is again what we built the online learning strategic plan on. As one might expect, since then, the number of online enrollments continues to grow, which we'll see in the next slide. So here we have a wonderful chart that shows where we find ourselves 2 years into the online learning strategic plan. And more online programs have been approved and offered. That shouldn't be surprising based on the goals that we already outlined. We offer double the number of undergraduate completion programs, one of which is now involved in the SUNY Online large-scale initiative. New program enrollment can really be seen over the past 4 years in this undergraduate major chart. So to tell you some numbers, there were 55 undergraduate online majors in fall of 2016 in 3 programs. In fall of 2020, there were 392 majors enrolled in 10 programs. At the graduate level, there has been a 25% increase in online programs since 2016, and 2 established online programs have become involved in the SUNY Online initiative. New program enrollment can really be seen over the past 4 years in this graduate and graduate certificate major chart. There were 212 graduate and graduate certificate online majors in the fall of 2016 in 9 programs. And in the fall of 2020, there were 392 majors in 12 programs. By the way, this growth built on an even earlier successful expansion 1 year earlier at the graduate level in 2015, where there was only 166 enrollments in 5 programs. So just to give you an example of the span, because I don't continue in the following slide. That means in 5 years, graduate programs rose from 5 to 12 programs and more than doubled their major count from 166 to 392. Now here, in the aggregate, over that 4-year period, not the 5 I just was telling you about in terms of graduate, just 4, undergraduate majors rose from 55 to 392, and graduate majors rose from 212 to 826. That is a 613% increase. A huge percentage, I know, but numbers are a little different, 55 to 392. But it's a 613% increase in undergrad and a 66% increase in graduate, for an overall growth of 179% growth in all of our online programs. And in the summer of 2019, as you've heard me mention, SUNY Oswego volunteered and was accepted as a pilot campus in the SUNY Online initiative. The fall 2019 pilot started with 7 campuses and 9 programs across the system, with a target of up to 2,000 students across all programs. They invested quite a bit of promotional campaign money into that and started to identify new instructional models for course delivery at scale. And as of the spring of 21, coming up here, there will be 10 campuses offering 23 programs in 6 pathways. Those pathways, for your information, are digital security, psychology, healthcare management, business accounting, data science, and engineering. 391 course actions have been delivered via common course template and partial implementation of a common set of SUNY IT solutions. Marketing and recruitment continue, although the financial model and revenue share model are yet to be finalized. Remember that target enrollment is 2,000 for the spring of 21. And that's not really beyond the realm of possibility, as we were at 1,380 enrollments or majors as of the fall of 2020. By the way, that is projected to double to 4,000 in fiscal year 21-22, and double again, 8,000 in fiscal year 22-23, and so on. So what are the component requirements? SUNY established a student support model to enhance recruitment and ensure student success, an instructional design support model to ensure quality and consistency of online course design and delivery, and they established a central IT stack to enable a seamless student experience over their life cycle throughout all of the SUNY Online programs. They tested new online tools and technology solutions in support of recruitment, academic support, student success, and online course delivery. At the institution level, a lot of faculty and staff time was invested into redesigning and offering courses in a new LMS, Blackboard Ultra, scheduling a rotation of courses, piloting, teaching courses at scale, and using the Packback artificial intelligence feature, integrating our concierge advising approach with their coaches, establishing institutional reporting, collaborating on the initiative's marketing efforts, and our CTS worked diligently on technical solutions to enable the integration of all of those IT stack elements. But here's a look at SUNY Oswego's student activity to date within the SUNY Online initiative. In fall of 19, at the start of the pilot, there were no new SUNY O students. In spring 20, there were 16 new students, 13 in business admin undergrad, 2 in our MBA program, and 1 in the MBA Health Services Administration. Fall of 2020 saw our best enrollment to date, which makes sense, with 22 new SUNY O students. So what you're seeing there is fall data as of September 15th, 20. 22 new SUNY O students, but also a bump of 38 new evening business students, which were basically enrolled as a result of SUNY O and will become SUNY O students long term. These are people that didn't have exactly how we designed the SUNY Online completion degree program. They didn't have all the prerequisites. This resulted in 107 SUNY O related enrollments overall in fall 2020. As time went on with SUNY Online, they began the process to select a second wave of programs based on pathways to in-demand jobs in New York State, and they wanted them to launch in fall of 21. 26 campus nominated an additional 148 programs and 100 plus specialty courses across the system. Out of 9 nominations from SUNY Oswego, 1 was selected for continued consideration at their nursing home administration certificate in the School of Business at the graduate level. We're conducting feasibility calls with SUNY presently, so we'll see what happens there. Participation in the SUNY Online pilot does have a number of positives. It has yielded a number of undergraduate enrollments. We've been able to use tools like Packback for free, that's for now. I did say before, the financial model hadn't been settled yet. And we've been able to conduct business process maps, which enabled internal departments to identify and address gaps in our own systems. More articulation agreements have been formalized in support of the pathways. Intriguing discussions are occurring regarding program design options for adult online students. And our instructional technology and instructional design offices have been problem solvers, leading systematic efforts to get this pilot working. But there are some concerns that our institution needs to consider moving forward. SUNY Online seems to really be a loss in terms of the graduate audience. Therefore, we have few students enrolled, but we're working with them currently to try to help them understand and refine their marketing approach. The coach and concierge integration between theirs and ours is clunky. I'll just leave it at that. Scaling course sizes and having multiple starts per year, as SUNY would like, requires significant change and thus careful deliberation at Oswego, as does creating a 3-year plan for scheduling. And in the meantime, while enrollments are low, commingling SUNY Online and SUNY Oswego students in 2 different LMS environments is necessary, which is not consistent and therefore not ideal for our students. Their approach to assessment of the entire SUNY Online initiative, as well as how they're marketing their programs, are both unilateral. They focus on the end state and overlook some clear differentiating realities between community, tech, comprehensive, and research colleges. So this is going to continue to be a major focus with a lot of effort from folks involved in the SUNY Online initiative, but also as far as how it integrates within our own strategic online efforts. Options for growth, just plain old SUNY Oswego's own initiated program growth have been identified based on feasibility studies, workforce data projections, and discussions spanning enrollment planning aspirations, the current state of our online programs, how post-traditional students fit into our overall enrollment strategy, functions and capabilities, like how to organize in order to operate and scale our online programs, how to grow in a sustainable manner, creating a marketing and enrollment strategy for promising programs, And finally, how our programs fit within the SUNY landscape. So at the undergraduate level, we're near term and have potential to offer 6 different programs. Now, this does not mean by any means that the programs, all six of them, their departments are completely on board at this point, but we are near term in terms of the courses that have been developed and that are regularly offered, that we may want to consider formally offering the programs as online completion programs. One in particular that's listed there is one that actually is being in the process of program nomination. So that's a new program called Interdisciplinary Professional Studies. And that one will be coming to APC sometime in the spring semester to review. Undergraduate minors are also something listed in the online learning strategic plan. We have a number of those that are either complete or very close to being complete, meaning being even regularly offered right now. And we have determined that there is the interest and the possibility that we could offer online minors specifically to those students who are enrolled and matriculated into online majors. That hasn't gone forward yet, but at least one is being actively worked on, and that's an art management minor. 2 graduate programs. In fact, frankly, this may be underestimating how many graduate programs that Dean Kristen Eichhorn and the faculty liaisons are working on, because they may very well be doing more. But there are 2 that are actively being considered and being worked on: higher education leadership and wellness management. And then, of course, it's also numerous credit-based microcredentials that are being actively pursued. So digital media design out of schema, the superintendent development program, which has been offered out of the School of Ed for ages and already provides credit-based options for those participants in the non-credit program, and ag labs, which again is also something that's been occurring for quite some time, but it would be nice to actually have that classified as a microcredential. Of course, in this pandemic, nothing is certain. We know that the college is fortunate to have already considered online learning and had already established a strategic plan to grow and enhance it. So when SUNY Online came along, we were able to jump at the opportunity. When the pandemic occurred, we built on that very strong foundation to pivot and offer quality remote instruction. So the chart you see here on this slide shows that online and remote course enrollment has risen 26%. This is campus-wide enrollment, by the way, not just majors. Campus-wide enrollment has risen 26% when comparing fall 2020 and fall 2017. So that's a 3-year growth. The implications of so many courses moving remote or online for both faculty and students are yet to be determined. But it is safe to say that new programs and courses are being developed for online learning. New modalities like HiFlex are being actively considered by a faculty group at this time and moving through that process. New tools for the campus are being selected, like an online proctoring tool. And in the next year, we'll be taking steps to evaluate a new learning management tool, as Blackboard 6 will be discontinued in the next few years. So I shared a great deal of information today. And I think we have plenty of time at this point to open it up for questions. And I believe I also have a number of folks on the call or on the webinar right now that might be able to help me in case I am at a loss. So at this point, I'd like to open it up for any questions. Let me see if I missed any in the chat. No. Is it too much to take in? Provost Furlong is on the call. So Scott, was there anything you might that I missed or?
I don't think so, Joe. I mean, I think this is all really about what we're looking to do as we're moving forward, right? And also, I mean, I think you did a good job really describing what what we had already been planning for is really to put us in the right place to work with SUNY Online and some of our other online initiatives internally. So,
Thanks.
Jill,
Mike,
I have a question. Yeah,
please.
I just wondered if you could say anything about what you anticipate about the balance between the sort of integrated professional studies, like the completion program, and what I think of as more traditional kind of minor and major programs online. Do you have some sense of that? How large a percentage of new programs are integrated professional studies likely to involve?
That is a great question. We actually are going to have another breakout session. I believe it's next week. I have too many things open. I'll look it up in just a moment and let you know about specifically the integrated professional studies degree. It's going to go into a lot of depth about the work that it was done to get to this point, as well as to talk about what the proposed curriculum design looks like. But I think the answer to that question is yet to be known, really. What we did recently at an all chairs meeting in December is we talked about the integrated professional studies degree and offered that the chairs nominate the courses that they wish would, or that they are willing to have claimed as part of the program, approved to be part of the program. So in terms of how integrative it is, it does a little bit depend upon how many courses are able to be counted on. And now Greg's on that group with me. So Greg, did I miss anything there, or would you add anything?
I guess the only other thing I'd add, Mike, is, we did market research. There's definitely indications that there's interest from prospective students in that kind of degree. Someone who, for career advancement purposes, needs a baccalaureate degree, but they may not necessarily have a really strong interest or affinity with the degrees that we actually are currently offering. So it gives them something that is an alternative to that. And the fact that it really truly will be integrative and multidisciplinary, I think, is kind of an exciting opportunity for anyone who's going to pursue that path. So I think it will be popular. To what extent, obviously, we won't know until we get to the point where we can begin to market and recruit and enroll in it.
Yeah, I've begun I've been talking for a while about developing a minor in something like public and professional writing. And it sounds like this is a model where minors could be folded into. Is that right? Okay, great.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, that's again, one of the benefits of this is that it can sort of ladder, if you will, the concept, as Jill touched upon earlier, of microcredentials is another thing to think about there too, right? That can be something that is equivalent, not necessarily a full minor, but it could be a standalone credential that someone can then earn and transcript and give them that sort of set of skills that may help them. So that's just a thought to share with you on that.
So a minor program could exist independent of integrated professional studies and an integrated professional studies major, I guess, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as all minors can, right?
Yeah,
and there's no difference there.
Yes. Yep. Great.
And I did put in the chat. I was able to find when the integrated professional studies session, the winter breakout session, will occur. It's next Tuesday, January 19th at 9 a.m. So if anyone would like to learn more, feel free to join us there or access the recording afterward.
Thank you.
Now, Jill, do we have any micro-credentials that are online at this point? I know we had talked about them. I think you had come into faculty assembly and discussed the micro-credentials. Where are we in that process? Is that something that's...
Well, we had, with the pandemic, kind of interrupted some things.
Right.
Not the least of which is we were in the final stages of a search for an individual who would really champion our micro-credential effort from an administrative point of view. And so what we've done is our program manager for professional development, she works on contracts, but also non-credit. Due to the pandemic, there was less activity in that space. And so we were able to kind of reorient her, and she's been working on some of what I would call the low-hanging fruit, the programs that lend themselves and are already micro-credential-like.
Yeah.
But also, so that's why the Ag Labs was mentioned, and Superintendent Development Program development. The schema program, I know that that group, it's a cross schema group that is working on creating that strategic digital media, but they call it something else differently now, and I'm sorry to not be aware what it's called. There have been advances in the School of Business, where over the summer and then into the fall, they created an innovation challenge, and they were successfully able to navigate the new processes to have a micro-credential, a non-credit micro-credential created out of that effort. And so they are actually our biggest giving, but they're non-credit. So we are moving forward on the credit as much as possible in our resource issues.
Right. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Because I know a lot of, it's kind of been big during, the pandemic, a lot of people participating in those micro-credentials because they're shorter and stuff like that. So it's a good opportunity. So thank you.
Yeah, and I will just add to what Jill just said that we do actually have a development roadmap and a timetable sketched out for that digital media certificate program. So that will be rolling out, I think, really in stages as we go. And I think semi-related, but also worth mentioning that in discussion with the School of Business, we decided tactically it would be a great idea to take the new entrepreneurship minor and make that available to the online business administration students. So those two things are very much headed towards convergence, if you will, in terms of both being online. So we're adding the entrepreneurship minor as a fully online option. And we, again, have a timetable that we're working on with that.
Good point, Greg. I will update my slides. I did not have that in the list of minors.
It's hard to keep track of all the things we're doing, quite
really
honestly.
Is.
We have a lot going on, which is exciting.
It really is. And that's, just to go back to one of the first things I said, which is, this is not something that is, even though the Division of Extended Learning is very much engaged in all of this and a fan and hopeful to help grow our online footprint. It's the departments that are really embracing online learning and going for it and thinking about new and innovative ways that they can bring their programs out to different audiences. So it's really an exciting time. Well, really, without any questions, that was all the content that I had. I'm almost completely sure that John will have this recording as well as the slides up for you to share with others or review later if you like. But if there are no other questions, then I think we all could appreciate an extra 20 minutes in our day.
Great. Thank you, Jill.
Well, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.